Hi folks, welcome to this edition of Broken Arrow in Motion Take 5. I'm City Manager Michael Spurgeon and thanks for joining us. You know, the City of Broken Arrow organization has about 800 full-time employees and we have about 25 to 30 part-time employees that are working very hard each and every day for our community. I get to work with them on a regular basis, and as a part of my video series, I'm going to start bringing some of our employees on to the Take 5 segments because I want to showcase the great things that they're doing every day and let you get to know them a little bit more. So my first guest is going to be Police Officer Jonathan Chisum. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I met Jonathan a few months ago at a Purple Heart ceremony, and he came up and we started having a conversation about some things that were important to him as a police officer and city employee. And I said, Jonathan, I want to invite you on the show. And he was a little bit nervous at first, but he realized that, you know, it's going to be okay. And I talked him into it. So I want to say thank you for agreeing to come on the show.
Absolutely.
Just a few questions here because I want folks to get to know you a little bit about you and some of the things that you do every single day. So first off, tell us a bit about yourself.
I grew up in East Broken Arrow. My mother graduated from the Broken Arrow High School. When I went off to college to Oklahoma State University, I recognized that this is where I was going to want to be back at, and this is where I landed for my career.
So what did you get your degree in?
I got a degree in aviation security. Originally, I wanted to have a little bit larger impact and try and go into the military. Some life choices dictated that I needed to go somewhere else with that, and so the local change was what was important to me.
So when did you realize that you wanted to be a police officer, and why did you choose Broken Arrow?
It was through college and having a better understanding of the industry that I was trying to get into. And then choosing Broken Arrow was easy for me. I knew this is where I was going to be. I applied a couple other places, but I knew this was where I wanted to land ultimately.
So talk a little bit about how long you've been with the City of Broken Arrow Police Department.
I graduated college in 2012 and immediately got hired with Broken Arrow early 2013.
So what do you like most about your job?
Every day is a new day. It really is. Some days I'll have the same people that I've already dealt with, but it's going to be a different set of circumstances. When I go home, I get to go home, but when I'm at work, I get to support this community and the citizens that we have here.
You know, our police officers, they work varying shifts each and every day. They're on duty 24/7, 365. What shift do you work, Jonathan?
I'm currently assigned evening shift, which is 3 p.m. to 1 in the morning, with working 4 10-hour days a week.
Is there any particular reason why you chose this shift?
It generates the highest number of calls from our citizens that need our help or that want our help, and I've intentionally chose this shift to be there for the citizens when they need us.
You know, before we went on the camera, you were talking about call volume and how important it is that you like to be active and out there in the community. Talk a little bit about that.
So evening shift statistically has the highest call volume between days, evenings, and midnights, and I'm here on that shift on purpose to be able to go out and help those citizens when they need me or when they want me there for the reports or the in-progress crimes, to be able to sort through and figure out what's best for everybody involved.
Well, you seem highly motivated, and I have enjoyed visiting with you. What do you like? If you had to pick 2 or 3 things that you like most about your job, because I think you do like your job a great deal. That's very obvious, and I certainly appreciate that from my position. What would they be if you had to pick out a couple of things that are important to you, Jonathan?
Something that's always really good is that every day is a new day. I can have a really bad day, I can have a really bad call, but tomorrow's a new day, and I get to do it all over again, and I get to help different people out in the best way that I know how through my training.
Speaking of training, I know that since I've been here, and it's been a tradition, that Broken Arrow Police Department, our agency, places a high importance on training. Talk a little bit about the type of training and how important it is to stay ready to react whenever you get a call.
So as soon as we hire somebody, it takes 6 months in the academy where they're sitting down and running through the curriculum for the state required mandated training. Broken Arrow trains above that standard. They always have, and we strive to maintain that level above the state standard minimum. Once that's completed, then we spend 3 additional months riding with a field training officer, and that is to better ensure that the work product that we're putting out in individuals rise to the level that Broken Arrow wants to have, and we strive to maintain that level of professionalism within our department.
Just a couple more questions here. I see that you got the stripes on your arm. You are a field training officer.
I am a field training officer.
Tell us a little bit about what a field training officer does.
So I've been selected within the police department and put into a position of leadership where I am placed with somebody that's recently graduated the academy, and we sit for 1 month blocks and respond to calls, and we take paperwork, and I grade that individual on a daily basis to ensure that they're rising to those levels and those standards that we have set internally within the department and within the city.
Do you like, I mean, obviously, you know, there's some responsibilities that goes with
Absolutely.
that. Do you like being a field training officer because it lets you help impart upon what you've learned
Absolutely.
in your experience on
Absolutely.
people that are just coming on duty?
It allows me to mold those new officers in the way that from the chief down want us to maintain within our new employees. It's very rewarding. It's very stressful. It's very difficult. It's also a lot of fun to be able to get to see that short-term improvement of these new officers that are young and hungry and want to go out there and do good.
That sounds good. Let's talk about the Broken Arrow community.
Okay.
The Broken Arrow Police Department and the community, in my opinion, have a great relationship.
I agree.
Talk to us a little bit about how important that relationship is from your perspective, that you have the support of the community.
On a weekly basis, I'm getting at least a thank you and a handshake or a meal taken care of or paid for, even if there's 2 or 3 officers eating with me. Somebody in the community is stepping up and they're showing their support back to us. It's from Chief Berryhill down. It's very important that we maintain that positive relationship with our community and that we're there for them when they need us. Sometimes they don't want us there, but for the greater good of the city, we strive to remain professional and maintain that very positive relationship that we've fostered within the city.
Is that important to you to know that you have the support?
It's extremely important. It makes our job much easier if we get into a situation that is very high stress. We can tell the community or the citizens that are observing to step back once, and they listen. They don't try and heckle us. They don't try and get involved when it's not their business to get involved. And that's due in part by the positive relationship that we have and the community outreach that we have within the police department to the city.
Well, you know, folks, we're just about out of time. I'm going to ask Jonathan if he has anything else he'd like to add. Folks, this is the caliber of police officer we have in Broken Arrow, and it's truly an honor for me to be able to be the city manager for such a great community and to have such an awesome police department. And you can see Jonathan's enthusiasm for his job, which makes me feel really good. And I hope that the community feels as well that he's out there ready to respond when necessary to help protect both life and property within our community. So thank you, Jonathan.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you a chance to finish it up. Anything else you'd like to add before we go?
We've got great training facilities. We've got great infrastructure within the police department. The equipment that we're issued is great. When it's broken, it's replaced. That's very important and not very common within other police departments nationwide. Being able to have that level of equipment and training and facilities in place makes for a great department and a great city.
Well, you talked also about the importance of the relationship when it comes to bond packages.
Absolutely.
And the support that we have, doing a really good job in interaction. Won't you mention something about that?
To date, every bond that the police department has put forward has been passed by the citizens of Broken Arrow. They understand that when we ask for stuff, they know that we need it and that we're not just trying to spend money for the sake of spending money. That we get what we need. We don't ask for any more than what we have to have.
I want to thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Folks, that's all the time we have for this edition of Broken Arrow in Motion. I'd like to thank Jonathan for coming on. Until next time, take care, and I hope to get to see you around sometime this summer.